Okay, finally I managed to go to Hobby Lobby and get everything I needed for the little pendant from Sunday. Necklace, not just pendant, it's a necklace. In the meantime, I had varnished it and it's all nice and pretty and shiny, as you can see. What I did get, I got these pretty twisted rings. I hope you can see them. Let me try and make this. If it doesn't want to, I'll make it. So yeah, I got these, and then the thing is that I do have some toggle clasps that are exactly like that. I have them in bigger and in smaller versions. And I'm going to use one of these bails, a pinch bail. And probably I got also this chain for the back of the necklace to have a combination of square and round links. I'll probably just use round links, these round links between the beads here. Let me refocus this. Between the beads here, and then use the chain for the back. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll have to see how it is. For now, what I need to do is to drill a hole here for the pinch bail. Yeah, I know pinch bails are supposed to, you're just supposed to pinch with them and for them to stick, but I'd rather not take any chances. And then I'm going to make some double coil rings. You heard me saying in a previous tutorial that I don't trust the regular jump rings, so wherever I can, I make double coil rings. So let me do my hole and make a few double coil rings, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I ended up not doing the double coil rings because I decided to just use the squarish rings from the big chain and combine them with the big twisty rings. So I already got my bail in place, as you can see, and I am going to connect these twisty rings to the squarish rings. Of course, I will apply some jewelry glue on all these openings to avoid any kind of dangers of these opening and getting loose. So before I do anything else though, I must get on the beads. Of course I'm going to do wrapped loops, and this time let me try and focus properly, not rely on the autofocus, so you can see exactly how to do a wrapped loop, and I will do it slowly without speeding up and try to stay in the camera field. So first you do the loop, obviously, and depending if you want to connect it now, you do the loop and then you insert the piece, but I'm going to connect through the ring, so I only do the loop, right, the wrapped loop. So I first do the wrapped loop on one end. So I have the straight wire. I'm going first to twist it this way because I want my little loop to be perfectly straight on the straight wire, and then I will do this to form the loop and make sure I go all the way. See? So I am going all the way to the other side, and only after that I make sure that I am perfectly perpendicular, and only after that I start wrapping the wire, making sure that it is very flush with the end of the loop. And you can use, the best to use for this kind of stuff is tweezers, the so-called tweezer, and tweezer pliers, and don't rely on this, because see what happens, this thing does not get wrapped properly. So the best way to do it, once you formed your loop, hold with the regular needle nose, and then you can use the tweezers or another pair of needle nose pliers and actually do a proper tight straight loop on that straight wrap on that loop. See, because if you do it this way with the needle nose, you are not able to hold it properly in place once you formed it. And the way that I do it, I just do like this. But remember that I do have some issues with my hands, so I'm sure that you can do it much better than me. And besides, it's me trying to hold it so I can see and you can see as well. And make sure that you have it tight. You don't have to do it more than twice around. You can cut it afterwards, but make sure that you tuck that end really good so it will not scratch. And also make sure that it is tight this way too. You can tighten it a little bit so it would look nice and pretty. Okay, then after you put it through the bead, so first straighten it up a little bit and put it through the bead, and then after you put it through the bead, first do the loop. Don't try to cut first and then figure out how it's going to be. So you kind of think I'm going to have about this much of loop here, so I should start my loop pretty much somewhere here if I hold this properly. So again, first do the bend, then do the loop. Make sure that the loop goes all the way to the other side. Then drop the needle nose pliers, grab the regular pliers. I'm not even sure if I call them right. And then just start twisting. Yes, I usually waste some wire, but see, I make sure that this way my wraps are nice and tight. See how it's nice and tight and pretty. And now I can go in and cut it. And then make sure that I tuck that end in really good. Okay, and this is how you do the wrapped loops. Now let me do this on all the beads and then I'll be back to continue this. Okay, I did all my beads, so now I am going to actually start connecting them with the squarish chain links. And again, as I said, I will be putting a little bit of jewelry glue on these just to make sure that nothing happens. Jewelry glue you can buy at any craft store. It's an itty bitty bottle, and all you need is just one drop, and that's it. You don't need more than that. And I usually place that drop on the opening of the jump ring. So as you can see, I'm placing a square jump ring, then one of these little twisted round ones, and then again a square jump ring that connects to the next bead. And yes, I did use my bead thing here so I can figure out how it looks like. Before I start working on it. And as you can see, it's not a big deal to connect these little things. But see, what I was talking about, it would have been a pity to finish this with a chain that wasn't that well fit for this specific necklace. Each of these pieces has its own little soul, if you want, and it's up to you to bring what's the best in it forward. And you know, it's like a child. If you know how to raise it properly, you will get a lot of rewards, and you'll have a beautiful child. It's a child of yours. It's a creation of yours, right? Goodness. Yeah, so it's still raining, so my hands are still bothering me. I got splint day before yesterday, and I'm supposed to wear it half of the time, so that's why I'm hurrying to finish what I have to finish for today so I can put my splint on. Well, that's supposed to allow the tendon that's messed up at my at the base of my thumb and the wrist to heal, and then I will hurt less and be able to move my hands better, hopefully. Because, as I said, I have two issues with my hands. One is the nerve damage from the cervical spine, and the other one is bone spurs from osteoarthritis caused by one of the drugs I had to take during breast cancer treatment. So, well, you know what? The human body and the human mind are so resilient, and you can always get used to a lot of things and adapt and still enjoy life, you know. So yeah, I will probably do another tutorial later today if everything goes okay. I am fighting my printer right now that suddenly decided to jump out of settings, and I cannot connect to it from any of my computers. And I have to print some shipping labels because it's hard for me to go and sit in line at the post office. So I usually just use that click and ship option, but for that one you need to print your labels. And if my printer is not connecting, I cannot print the labels, so I cannot ship. And I got some stuff to ship. So I've been fighting with that from like 4 a.m. till 7 a.m. And then I said, okay, forget this. I'm going to do some other stuff. Let it cool for a while. Okay, now let me see how long this is. one. So I need two inches of chain for the closing, and this little chain actually came with the closing, which is really nice. So 2 inches means here. And it already has a little counterweight, so that is really awesome. I don't have to worry about that, because I was thinking, what am I going to put as a counterweight here, because I only have some stars and hearts left mostly. Oh, and some leaves, but none of them would have worked with this specific pattern. So okay, now this. And Whisper is very upset because he is very mistrusting of certain things, and the printer is one of them. So the printer going on and off and on and off made him really nervous. So he's still trying to tell me that something is wrong, because that printer still goes on and off. So if you hear any kind of deep sighing and a little bit of whining in the background, that's Whisper telling me how unhappy he is about stuff. You know what? Let me just put one of those big ones for the lobster clasp instead of these little ones. Because it would be much easier to close. Okay, there we go. To move stuff out of the way, and here we have a pretty necklace. Actually focus it. Oh yeah, this is not right here. Let me get this on here. Seamus. Okay. There we go. It's a pretty necklace. I made it for the right hand. I make most of my stuff for the right hand, but if you have an order from my shop and purchase something from my shop and you are left-handed and you want stuff for left-handed people, make sure that you tell me and I will just revert these. See, I do have issues with lobster clasps myself. I prefer the toggle clasps. But there we go, the little pretty necklace from Sunday. Happy claying!